Okay, let's move into our part 2. All right, welcome back to the Digital Piano Academy. We're gonna hop right into part 2 of our chords and scales. So part 2 of our chords and scales is really going to start with the introduction to our chord types, okay? So here, what I said before, that we're going to learn your major, your minor, your augmented, and your diminished, and your seventh chords. But I wanted to take it a step further and actually show you. Let me see if I can actually zoom in here. Yeah, a lot better. And I want to show you that you're going to come across a lot of different types of possible scales. You're going to come across, not scales. You're going to come across a lot of different possible types of chords. And I kind of want you to be mentally equipped to be able to say this lingo and be able to kind of recognize it when the time comes. Right now, we're just looking at things from a theoretical point of view, but this is definitely something that you're going to be putting into practice. And these are actually chords that you're already probably playing and you're not even aware of, right? So here is the complete keyboard poster of all the types of chords that you will encounter at some point in your journey. The chords are arranged in logical order across the poster. The simplest chords are on the left, and the more jazziest extended chords are on the right. This is why we have a whole unit on extensions, because if I just start throwing extensions out to you right now, you will be probably a little bit lost, right? But it's good for you to have the lingo, for you to be aware that these chords exist, so that when we get into our extensions, which is our 9ths, our 11ths, and our 13ths, even our 12s, our seconds, and our fourths, they're not, I would say seconds and fourths are not extensions, but they exist in the extension world, if that makes sense. When we get into extensions, all of this is going to become really, really clear. So here's a list of 30 chord types, and I want you to maybe recite them back to me, or recite them back to yourself as we're going through this together, right? So we have major, we have minor, diminished, augmented, suspended second, which can also be considered, sometimes you'll see sus, or you'll just see the letters S-U-S. So sus means suspended. You have suspended fourth, flat fifth, sixth, minor sixth, dominant seventh, minor seventh, diminished seventh, major seventh, minor major seventh, and 7/6. So some of these I can actually explain to you. Some of them you might already know. But for example, a minor major seventh is really just a minor chord with a major seventh, right? A diminished seventh is a chord, I believe it could be any chord, but the seventh of that chord is diminished, okay? Then you have a dominant seventh, right? Where you have a dominant chord with a dominant seventh. And then a 7/6 is a seventh chord with a sixth involved, if that makes sense. And here on the right is all of the jazzier, more extended chords that you will come across. You will come across some of them now, and you will come across some of them even later, right? So we have 9ths. We have a minor 9th, a flat 9th. We have a minor flat 9th. We have augmented 9th. We have a 9/6. We have a minor 9/6. We have an 11th. A minor 11th, augmented 11th, minor augmented 11th. We have a 13th, minor 13th, a 13th augmented 11th, a minor 13th augmented 11th. You also have like flat 9, flat 13, sharp 5, flat 5. I would say sharp 5 and flat 5 are more on the basic side. But when we get into more jazzier type chords, this comes when you want to do altered chords, right? And I have a video posted on altered chords if you're looking to understand, okay, what's an altered chord and how I use it. So that's all we have for today. I hope this lingo really helped you, especially when we start off with our chords and getting familiarized with them. Okay, so that's pretty much all the chord types all together. Now, for your assignment is to pick out 5 different chords, be able to explain to me what they are. You can either write it down or you can put it in some kind of video. I will put the instructions to the assignment down below, but just pick 5, do your research, and actually find out, what does a flat 9th mean? What does a minor 9/6 mean? What does an augmented 11th mean? I want you to just pick 5, do your research, and post your video on what these chord types mean. So that's it for our chord types and for your assignments. The next part of our chords and scales, we'll be looking at chromatic scales, whole tone scales, Spanish gypsy scales, and a blues scales. So that's really exciting. Until then, keep up the great work, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.